Hey, what's up guys? This is 8-Bit Eric, and growing up there were several things that I loved that many different boys my age loved. Dinosaurs, first of all. Pizza, second of all. Power Rangers, third of all. And ninjas. Yeah, ninjas. In the late 80s, early 90s, ninjas were like the cream of the crop. Anything ninja related. Ninja Turtles, Three Ninjas, fucking ninjas fucking other ninjas. I don't fucking know. If it had the word ninja in it, they could have been shitting ninjas. We would have liked it. I guarantee you. Being a kid with the NES as my console of choice, I didn't miss out on my fair share of video games starring those mysterious mask-clad badasses. Some of the most popular games on the NES library being Ninja Gaiden, TMNT, and there was even a Kid Nicky the Radical Ninja. Yeah, a radical ninja. You knew it had to be good in the 90s if it had the word radical in it. Okay, maybe not that one. When Ninja Gaiden first came out, it was tremendously popular. And of course, anything that had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle name attached to it was an instant success. So it's a no-brainer when game developers started bringing ninja-based games onto the NES. They were all the bee's knees. Anything ninja was gold. Unfortunately, there were a few NES titles that slipped through the cracks starring ninjas. One of them being from a third-party developer called Natsume, or Natsume. So don't sue me over not being able to pronounce Natsume. To be honest, I didn't become familiar with Natsume, or Natsume. I'm giving up, I'm just gonna call it Natsume. Until the Super Nintendo came out and I played Pocky and Rocky. It wasn't until years later that I had the honor bestowed upon me of a very underrated NES Ninja game in my library. That being Shadow of the Ninja! The year is 2029 AD. Uh-oh, that's coming up pretty fast. I hope Hillary's not in office. Due to the evil Emperor Garuda, tons of lives have been lost. I guess Hillary changed her name. In order to defeat the Emperor, two shadows appear. Ninja, they are called. Okay, so I guess that's all the story you need. Straight to the point. There's an evil dude and there's ninja that come out and yeah, they're called ninja. Classic. I'm just gonna come right out of the gate with it and tell you exactly why I think Shadow of the Ninja stands out as far as a ninja game. One unique feature that Ninja Gaiden did not have that Shadow of the Ninja has is two-player co-op mode. Yes, this is like Ninja Contra. That alone, sold. Buy the fucking game. Two-player, simultaneous. Unfortunately, I have nobody to play the fucking game with. I am a freaking fat loser. And I'm not afraid to admit it. The heroes in this game are Hayate and Kaide. Yes, I know I probably pronounced those wrong. Get used to it. I know right now you're in the comments like this.
But Eric, you're not pronouncing Japanese words right. What kind of gamer are you?
Both characters in this game have exactly identical abilities. Both characters are able to slash their swords, pick up a variety of weapons, cling to platforms, that's pretty neat, crouch, call a special attack that just clears up the entire screen, and you can even upgrade your weapons. Other than just it being a pellet swap, it's exactly the same, and it wouldn't hurt you either way to be either character in one player mode. But it's nice to have two different characters available because, I mean, two player simultaneous. That's enough said. Two player simultaneous. If somebody asks you about Shadow of the Ninja, say, hey, we both can play at the same time. The first stage has your character started on what appears to be a ship in the rain. This is a basic level and teaches you how to play the game. There's nothing really fancy here. You climb, jump from platform to platform, you got your basic enemies. Oh shit, a fucking monkey.
A monkey!
For some reason I've noticed there's a lot of monkeys in these ninja games. What is it with ninjas, martial arts, and monkeys? Like, did monkeys teach us karate or something? Throughout the game, there are boxes which will reveal weapon power-ups when destroyed. If you get another copy of the weapon that you're currently using, it'll upgrade your weapon to the next level, so that's kind of neat. However, you really don't run across this very much. In fact, you usually run into a different weapon every time. And of course, just like other ninja games, you got shurikens and bombs that are expendable, limited stock, so I tend to stick with the sword. It's your basic weapon, attacks really quickly, and even though it has a short hit range, the hit range is actually pretty decent on it. So now, shortly into this first level, I see the main problem with this game is the hit detection. Now, there's some of these little robot-looking enemies on the ground. They're real close to the ground, as you can see. They're really hard to hit without taking damage. That is a big pet peeve of mine in games like this, and that's one of the major flaws that Shadow of the Ninja has. Like, for real. And where the fuck did my hat go? Here it is. Also, there's this one asshole in the very first level that just runs right into you and tries to push you off into the pit. In later stages, he just becomes an even more annoying asshole. In fact, a lot of enemies in this game are downright annoying, like 8-bit Eric level annoying. Take this Contra enemy looking guy for example. He blocks your hits and fires a gun, and overall it's just a bitch to get past. In this area, I just had to keep moving. In fact, I found myself doing that a lot in this game. I know it seems a little impatient of me, but it's just a small detail about this game that I really do not like. The difficulty is up, and I found myself dying more the more that I tried to kill enemies. So I just tend to kill whoever's directly in my way and avoid anything else. Now, I know it seems like, you know, it's a small little detail about the game that might make it seem like this game is not good, but trust me, this difficulty does not take away from the quality of the game at all. This is still a fantastic game. I'm just too much of a chode to be patient with it and take my time. The first boss is a generic dude who just runs and slides at you. Even if you take damage from him, just keep slashing away. It's easy shit. Now, the next part is a pretty interesting area where you ride rotating platforms. Monkeys, fucking monkeys. PETA is gonna have a fucking field day on this shit. At the end of this area, you fight an eyeball looking robot. Pretty straightforward fight. Just keep slashing away. Now, you'll soon find yourself in the sewers, and all I gotta say is, I give these ninjas major props for swimming through that sewer shit with a straw to breathe through. Like, well, I can't even imagine that. That shit makes me want to puke like a dumpster. Now, you make your way to a mini-boss who looks a lot like the thing that pops out of Jabba the Hutt's palace door. This fuck is not too bad, however, sometimes your shurikens will just fuck you over because they don't have a good reach. Stick with the sword or aim right. And I suck at aiming. Just ask all the ladies. And I mean it in that way. My aim sucks.
Right in the eye.
Next up is more of these annoying little fucks on the ground, and some steam. Seriously, the difficulty just amps up in this game's level. You also have these mohawk fucks who stand there throwing boomerangs. In fact, these enemies look like they came straight out of Shinobi. You'll finally make your way to the next boss, which is actually a tank battle similar to the Technodrome on TMNT. And of course, as you further on in the game, the next few stages are gonna ramp up in humongous difficulty. Yeah, call me Captain Obvious. It's expected. I mean, it's common point in a NES game that it's gonna ramp up, and I feel bad for saying that, but the challenge is definitely there. This game is very forgiving though, compared to Ninja Gaiden. I never once felt like slamming the controller down and rage quitting. In fact, the game retains its charm in my opinion, and it definitely helped that this game has a kick-ass soundtrack. In fact, this soundtrack I would put up against the ranks of other classic NES games like Contra, Bucky O'Hare, you know, even fucking Mr. Gimmick. Any game that has a great NES soundtrack, Shadow the Ninja is right up there. These guys knew what they were doing. They made a classic ninja game with that high-pumped, gritty rock and roll sound that you expect in a ninja game. Now, it might seem like I'm bitching about a lot in this game, but these are just small details that can easily be forgiven since they were commonplace in a lot of NES games. Which is why I believe it's a good pick up and play NES game if you're looking to sink your teeth into some underrated Ninja classic. And of course, as I mentioned, you could play with a fucking friend. I've yet to beat this game. Now, I could make it to about the 4th level until I get to the boss where he has a bird that he can control. Once you defeat the bird, he turns into a bird demon himself, and he's just like obnoxiously impossible to beat. You know, I've tried my best. I sat here for hours and hours and tried to beat it, so I haven't seen the ending myself, but I can tell you that I definitely enjoy this game. He doesn't fuck around though. I'm serious. Birdman does not fuck around. So Shadow of the Ninja, my final verdict. I mean, do you like ninjas? Well, then you need to see this. I was trying to make a dick joke out of it. Honestly though, very underrated game. Sure, it has its flaws. What NES game doesn't? The difficulty, you know, hit or miss. The challenge, hit or miss. Those levels, kind of short, but it's still a pretty sweet game. 2-player simultaneous action, definitely worth a look. If I could find somebody to play with it, well, not play with it, but play this game with me. So Shadow of the Ninja, a must-have in your NES collection. Not a lot of people talk about it. It's starting to trend up in price though. I bought it for about $5 about 3 years ago. I don't know where it's at now. It's not rare, but you should grab it. It's cheaper than Ninja Gaiden, I'm pretty sure. And it has 2-player action. So, this has been Shadow of the Ninja. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. I definitely appreciate it. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And, yeah, wax on, wax off. Peace out.